and the judge has a very specific question. What did the Fourth Amendment actually require before that bag was ever touched? In Michigan, a routine commercial vehicle inspection on US 131 turned into a Fourth Amendment case that raised a fundamental question in search and seizure law. Whose permission do you actually need before opening a bag inside someone else's vehicle? Trooper Rickliffs of the Michigan State Police stopped a commercial box truck for a headlight violation and began a standard inspection. The driver gave consent to search the cargo area. The passenger gave consent to search his duffel bag, but there was another bag inside the truck pushed under the passenger seat, heavy, unclaimed, and with no identified owner at the time. Neither the driver nor the passenger claimed the bag, and the trooper opened it without first giving either person the opportunity to say whether it belonged to them. We are in Judge Wiggins' courtroom, and the judge has a very specific question. What did the Fourth Amendment actually require before that bag was ever touched?
All right, counsel, we are here for a preliminary examination on a carrying concealed weapon. Is there any resolution in this matter?
There is none, Your Honor.
Mr. Carnes, your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Did you call Trooper Edwards Rickless?
You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
All right, you may have a seat.
Can you please state your name and spell it for the record? Edward Rickless, R-I-C-A-L-E, F as in Frank, S as in Sam. And where are you employed? I am with the Michigan State Police, currently as a commercial vehicle enforcement division assigned to the Homeland Force. Okay. And were you working in that capacity on November 14th of 2024?
Yes, sir, I was.
And what happened during that shift that brings you in the court today? I stopped a commercial vehicle that I observed traveling down the interstate for a they had a headlight on. Okay. What is the significance of that headlight out on a commercial vehicle? Well, it's a equipment that's required to have under state and federal statute. And where did this stop occur? It's M115 near between 13th Street and 34. Do you happen to know what township that's South Shawn Township? I was the township. What happened after you made this stop? I contacted the defendant here, Mr. Lassiter. He was in the passenger seat. They contacted the driver. Mr. Anselm North Springfield. Then you just gestured to Mr. Lassiter. Do you see Mr. Lassiter in the courtroom today? I just reached on the screen there with the headphones. That's sticking back. Your Honor, may the record reflect the witness as identified the defendant.
Mr. Champion, any objection?
For the purpose of preliminary.
The record so reflect.
And what, if anything, did you notice about this truck during the stop? The passenger headlight was in fact out. It was missing the company name. The DOT number, I don't believe it was the DOT number that was associated with the name of the company. And the defendant was had his eyes closed to pretend to sleep against the vehicle. What's the significance of the door that you just described? Meaning that they're a state carrier, they're required to have their company DOT number, it's US DOT number.
I would ask for verification. I'm not sure who they are.
The owner of the truck. What, if anything else, did you notice during the stop? That the driver, he didn't have a logbook. He didn't have the logical. So driving a truck is about making money.
I'm going to object. I'm not sure who you're referring to. Trooper Reckless, who are you referring to when you say they did not have a logbook?
The driver, sorry, Mr. Rankin, did not have. And he did not have a logical story where they were going and what purpose.
Again, I would object. Your Seth.
That is trying to assert any truths asserted by, he's just explaining what was suspicious about the situation.
Mr. Carnes, is this going to why Officer Reckless may have been hit?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I will allow it.
So where we left off, you're talking about a logbook. What, if anything else, did you notice about this truck? It wasn't carrying any type of company load at the time, and the driver did not indicate they were going to go take a load. I did talk to Mr. Lassiter, and he advised me, I believe it's not right on video, that he just drives down the truck, he loads the truck, and I'm he didn't know as I were on being the travel plans. And I think you were also starting to explain your suspicions with the commercial nature. Can you explain that suspicion? Well, commercial trucks are about making money. they're very expensive to operate. And they're also required, being that they're from out of state, to show me how many days they've been driving, how many hours they've been driving. And typically they have a place they came from and a place they're going to for a reason.
And what, if any, of those items were you shown during this stop?
The driver, Mr. Rankins, was not able to provide me with flaws. They didn't have.
And what was your concern at this time?
This was not logical behavior, traffic behavior. He's a North Carolina truck driver with a North Carolina truck doing interstate commerce.
Actually, there's been no testimony that he was doing any type of commerce. Oh, the testimony. I believe that the trooper is testifying as to what he was observing and why he became suspicious. What I gather is we have a North Carolina driver with a North Carolina truck in Michigan. Is that about?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'll allow the testimony.
Please continue. The driver said that he had just gotten to Grand Rapids to pick up the truck, and he was taking it to drive. Eventually came out, he was taking it to Traverse City for repairs, which is commerce. You're maintaining business, you're maintaining the truck, you're maintaining operations.
What, if anything, did you do as a result of these concerns?
I called a more senior officer that I've only been doing commercial vehicle enforcement since April. So I called one of the officers that helped train me. Just it wasn't clear to me what they could be doing as far as how this would be logical to move the traffic.
And after speaking with that other officer, what did you do?
I talked to the driver some more, and he showed me the rear of the truck. They weren't carrying anything. They had a couple personal bags. Each had a duffel bag, and I asked them to search each duffel bag, the presence of each, Mr. Laster and Mr. Rankins.
Okay. Did you receive any identification as to whose bag was whose?
Yes, they pointed out to each one. One was red, one was black, and after heard my report, this was what a page. They were standing in my presence and indicated that was their bag.
Okay. What, if anything, did you find in defendant's bag?
I found a box of 45 APC handgun shells.
And what, if any, concerns did this raise?
Well, being 1,000 miles from home, it would seem unlikely that one of them carried ammunition and no firearm.
So what, if anything, did you do based on this suspicion?
I asked the driver for consent to search. He did not wish to allow that. So I asked the owner over the phone, Mr. Damon, Desmond. He gave an objection on that. Is hearsay. It is.
I did that. It's yours.
I bit out without
Saying who said anything. Who did you speak to on the phone?
Again, I'm going to object. It's hearsay.
There's absolutely no way to determine this action.
Mr. Carnes?
I think I can slip over that. What did you do after talking to other people?
I searched the cabin. And I searched what I thought was a woman's handbag that was right under the front passenger seat. It was heavy. Felt like it could potentially have a handgun in it or a firearm of some sort. It wasn't big enough to carry along them.
And what did you find in that bag?
2 semi-automatic pistols, like in colorable 45, both had magazines, what with ammunition, and the end of this.
Quite many statements.
Hold on. Mr. Lassiter, did you need to speak with Mr. Champion?
Yes.
Mr. Champion, can you get into a breakout room?
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Lassiter, Mr. Champion's going to join Zoom, and I'll put you both into a breakout room.
All right. Thank you.
Mr. Champion, are we able to proceed?
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Carnes?
What, if anything, did the defendant tell you after this?
I did read them. We went back to my phone car, read them, and we bring a sequence. Purchase one of 2 guns from my answering lyric, and I'm not sure what
Did he make, what, if any, statements did he make about the guns?
that they were his guns, and that the one he took it from an answering lyric, and I cannot, without referring to my work per where the other had.
It's okay, I don't think it's relevant. So you said these guns were found in a bag. Again, where in the vehicle was that bag found?
So the truck only has a bench seat, driver, tester, and there's a person sitting in the middle as well. And it's like a 60-40 or 70-30 split seat where 70% of the seats on folds up. And underneath there was things you would find in a truck, bags, triangles, reflective triangles. And underneath that was what I interpreted was a woman's. My wife has a purse just like it's a garment leather backpack. Black and gold.
This was all on the passenger.
It was stuffed under the, you lifted the seat up, it was stuffed under the seat with some items on top.
True. And that's the seat the passenger would sit in.
Yes, that's right. Thank you. I have no further questions.
Mr. Champion?
I'm sorry if I make it back. Did you inspect these guns at all? I could not read the serial number. There was 2 guns. One I could read the serial number and run and see. The other one I cleared the shop. Mr. Lasper and Mr. Rankins took it out of gravel. And
I'm sorry, let me refill that question. Did you conduct any visual inspection over all of these handguns?
eventually, well, they didn't clear me the scene, and I had to take back the close to observe the serial number.
But putting aside any serial numbers, what, if anything, did you notice when you inspected these?
Oh, they both had loaded magazines in the magazine walls of each pistol. One had a loaded chain and one did not. Both of them.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Sir, what was the date and time of this?
November 14th, 2022, in the afternoon, 2020.
Is that correct?
It was light out.
Right?
Yes, it was overcast.
And you first saw this vehicle where?
US 131 northbound.
Was this a private highway?
Yes, sir.
Was it going the other direction?
It was.
You stopped the vehicle where?
M115 near 34 Road.
And the driver was who?
Antonio Wayne.
This vehicle was a box truck, is that correct?
Yes.
How far off the ground was the cab vehicle?
4.5 feet.
Did you see it just walking up and look into it?
Yeah, I stepped up on the top of the driveway.
So you stopped the vehicle off all bucks, is that right?
Two of us.
Pardon, 2 o'clock. Then on 3 o'clock, you searched. Is that right?
That was the first part.
Your report says that 50 minutes into the conversation with the victim. Is that right? You stopped the vehicle for a simple equipment violation.
Yes, sir.
It's not a violation in the middle of the day to have headlights. Is that correct?
To have them, to not have headlights?
To have headlights is a requirement.
For a commercial motor vehicle.
In the middle of the day?
Yes, sir.
That's the operating?
No, they have to be operating.
Okay. This had headlights, is that correct?
So that's going to function.
Didn't function, but did have, correct?
Yeah, but it had the gates. I don't know if they had a ball in it.
Did it have a ball in it?
I don't have a ball in it, sir. It wasn't, it didn't light up.
Did you check it? Did you check both of them?
Did I look inside of it? Oh, and I went around the front, yes. You can see the passenger side.
So what lights did you check during this inspection?
The headlights.
Any others?
I did not.
What were the conditions of the brake?
You're talking about level 1 inspections.
So what inspections did you do?
I put it in level 3.
What inspections did you do?
Driver, document, inspection, level 3.
They said they had picked up a vehicle and was taken for repairs. Is that correct?
That's what it says.
And is there anything wrong with that?
He's still recording to show me a log of how steep the catfish.
Was he on a trip?
Yes.
What was that trip? To Traverse City, is that correct?
That's what he says.
But you found that suspicious, is that right?
Yes.
Now, backpacks or duffel bags that you described as red and black.
Yes.
I believe that was the first thing you searched, and that was at approximately 3 o'clock, a few minutes before 3 o'clock. Is that right? So between the time you stopped the vehicle and the time that you searched for the backpacks, you issued a citation. What did you do in that 15 minutes?
Completing my inspection.
Pardon?
I was completing my inspection,
Which was?
the commercial motor vehicle inspection.
Which was, exactly. What was it? What did you do in 15 minutes?
I call my senior officer to see what I could be missing.
What were you missing?
I was missing a one hook.
Didn't you call and ask him to help him to search the vehicle?
I couldn't.
Is that a part of an inspection to search a vehicle?
We can check the loads.
There wasn't a load. Is that right?
Correct.
In fact, you knew that, correct?
I'm not sure if I knew that when I called.
Well, you opened up the back of the pickup truck or the box truck, is that right?
I'm not sure if that was important. I watched the first 15 minutes of my stuff of the video.
When did you open the back of the truck? It's in a box, right?
It was sometime at the
And that's where the duffel bag, personal duffel bags of the two individuals were located, correct?
Yes, sir.
And when you asked to say you searched the cab of the vehicle, the driver told you no, correct?
He did not say the words no. He said I can't give you permission.
She just testified that he did not give you permission.
That's not the word no.
Let the record speak for itself. Okay. Then why didn't you call someone else?
Why did I call?
If you possible, no, right? You call another individual, someone you thought was he of the vehicle. It was if the driver had not given you permission.
He had been calling me during the stop. He had been calling him during the stop. I think
Now, why did you, if the driver gave you permission, why did you find the need to call somebody else to ask for permission?
as I recall, the driver called the owner. It said the doctor asked instruction.
That's what I'm gonna say. Okay, I'll allow it. You open the door for it. Well, I asked him why. Why did he?
Because the driver said, I've only had the truck 2 hours. I feel like to give you permission.
So you didn't have permission.
He did not say no. That's no.
Did the passenger give you permission to search?
Just the bag. They did give me permission to search the bags.
Then you searched that. But you did not give you permission to search the bag. Is that correct?
Yes.
You did my client did not give you permission to search the cab of the vehicle.
Yeah, right. He did.
And you found the bag, sealed bag in that. What was in that bag, correct? You didn't have permission from anyone to search that bag. Is that correct? You did not have anyone's permission to search that bag. All right?
Not Mr. Lesser.
And you didn't know who the bag belonged to. Is that correct?
I didn't.
And that was a little over an hour into the stop. Is that right?
That's what's pocket.
And up to that point in time, you never advised anyone of the matter, right? Is that correct?
I understand.
You've already stated they were over 1,000 miles from home. Is that right?
That's last.
They weren't free to leave. Is that correct?
We were on a commercial vehicle inspections.
Well, that doesn't apply to the passenger, correct?
You see him anytime.
Was he?
Was your case law? I don't know what the time.
Now, my question to you, was he free to leave?
I don't know if it was say.
You sure he didn't?
I don't know that it's a good word, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Carnes?
Officer Rickliffs, in November of 2024, how long had you been working as a motor vehicle officer or telephone motor vehicle officer?
10 of that. It was my first statement. Nest.
And how long was your average motor vehicle stop during the year of 2024?
From May 1st to this end of December, my average inspection was 38 minutes and 54 seconds.
What is the legal significance of a passenger-made commercial motor vehicle as opposed to a private motor vehicle?
There's federal regulation that only authorized passengers authorized by the carrier. A driver cannot Uber passengers around in his travel if he's a property carrying driver.
Thank you, officer. I have no further questions.
Mr. Champion? What type of vehicles were those that you were inspecting?
Can you clarify, sir?
Well, you said it takes an average of 38 minutes per inspection, correct?
Yes, sir.
What type of vehicles were you inspecting?
It could be anything from what you would think of an 18-wheeler to a different truck that
Sometimes change based on that.
they can.
So when you say 38 minutes, what are you looking for in that first 38 minutes?
That's the average time of that year.
In this, you didn't even start to search the vehicle until 50. Right?
That's what it's not the time says, sir.
And this vehicle had no cargo. Correct.
No.
And the capacity was being transported from one location to another or Connor?
What concern was raised with this vehicle traveling from town to the city for vehicles? Whoever was Mr. Rankins was uncertain what exactly was wrong with the truck. He's been articulated it towards the end. He said they had something to do with the parking lot. I did not see outwardly for
Trooper, a couple questions I have.
Yeah.
Do you ever get consent to search the bags?
The double bags.
The
Not
duffel bags in the back, but I'm sorry. So you got consent to search the bags in the cargo, right? That's correct.
yes.
But the bag underneath the front seat, did you get permission to search that?
I did not.
Did anybody ever claim that bag?
After I searched it, Mr. Lester.
Did you give anybody the opportunity to claim it beforehand?
I did not. I thought it was only first.
Was anybody around the vehicle when you searched that, what you thought was a purse?
I believe everybody was standing in front of the truck. Or the front of the truck.
And nobody says, hey, that's my bag underneath.
No, I felt the bag was heavy, sir. It was heavier than what I thought it should be. Found 2 guns, and I came around the door, and I said, whose bag is this, Mr. Alex? I said it was his, and he said, I didn't give you permission, Mr.
Was that before or after you opened it?
It was after I was.
And you said as he recalled, he didn't give you permission to search it?
No, he said you didn't ask me for permission.
Okay. And do you recall what types of firearms they were that you located?
One was a 1911, and I'm sure of the manufacturer, and there were 45s, which matched the ammo in the bag. And the other one was a Smith & Wesson semi-automatic.
Okay.
45.
Now, when I think of a box truck, I think of a state truck with a cargo box on the back.
It was a van box, or like a rider truck with like an enclosed box.
All right. And so I can see, do you remember what type of truck it was?
I believe it's an International, but it could have been another brand.
Okay.
But
So
it was yellow as if it was at one time, and it's like a Penske or a rider truck.
all right. So it's not like a van box truck, but an actual tractor.
No, it's a continuous truck. Well, straight truck. There's no trailer.
When you searched underneath the seat of the vehicle, you had already seen that the cargo bay was empty other than the duffel bag?
Double bag, a pallet jack, and a spare tire remote.
And help me understand what the stop was for. Why did you actually stop the vehicle?
It had a headlight that wasn't operating.
And when did you realize it didn't have the DOT numbers?
It had DOT numbers from not the ones of the company that he told me. The driver told me it's
Okay.
A&D Logistics, and it had a spot on the door where you could see the sticky tape where it had some driver. All he needs is either a magnet.
Mhm.
It only has to be written. It could be a magnet. It could be a sign, and you see the remnants of the sticky tape, but squares missing.
So it had DOT numbers on it, just not assigned to that.
Not the one that of the company that the driver tells me it was A&D Logistics.
And if I understood you correctly, you said you encountered the vehicle on 131,
Yes, sir.
and were you headed the same direction or an opposite direction?
That's why it took me so long to catch up to it.
All right, so it was headed which direction?
Up westbound on 150.
But when you first saw it,
It was northbound on 131.
where did you first see it on northbound 131?
About where the rest area is. We were going out
Just south of town. All right. And then where did you must have been headed southbound then?
Yes, sir.
Where did you make your turn at?
At the county line and come back north. And then they turned on one.
Council, does that raise any additional question?
Not on behalf of the people.
Mr. Champion?
It does. So when you found the bag, you had no permission to open the bag from either the driver or the passenger. Is that right? And you opened it, and then you approached Mr. Lasker and asked, "Who's this?"
I believe I just asked them both, who's this?
Is it true that you placed Mr. Lasker in the back of your patrol car at that point in time?
No, sir. He was never in the back.
Was he in front of you?
Yes, I don't know what time inspired between. That's what we did.
If the report indicates at that one time you advised him of his rights, that's what he and told him if he admitted that he went to jail or that refresh your memory.
Said it. That's
Did you advise Mr. Lassiter after you found the guns and ask him who they belonged to? That was after you were placed in your patrol car and you advised him of his Miranda. So was that confidential?
I don't recall. I would say if you didn't get into it fast, you won't do that for you.
The report indicates that, and the body cam indicates that you don't disagree.
I said he's in professional going to jail.
Yeah.
That just still not on.
So you had no permission to report?
It's.
So you had no permission?
I told him I was taking the jail.
Let him finish his question.
You had no permission to ever search this bag, either the passenger or the driver's cycle. Thank you.
Mr. Carnes?
Can you explain what permission you had to search the cab of the vehicle where this bag was found?
Mr. Desmond gave me permission to search the cab. I felt I had probable cause to search it with the ammunition.
And who is Mr. Desmond?
He's the owner of the company.
Mr. Champion? Trooper, you just stated that you thought you had probable cause to search based on what you found in
The ammunition.
the ammunition. Can you explain that for me?
Just would be to me, it would be highly unusual to travel with handgun ammunition to not have a handgun present.
And what do you base that on?
Life experience, or
And that would be,
being a gun owner, being in law enforcement.
so then when you searched the cab of the truck, you were looking, your
My
thought process, you would find a fire.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Carnes, does that raise any additional questions?
No, you're
Mr. Champion?
What you found was in the cab, was not in the cabin vehicle.
There was. It was under this.
The ammunition is in the back. Is that right?
No, sorry. And in the duffel bags.
And the bag that you found was a sealed bag, and you did not ask who that belonged to. Is that right?
I did not.
And you opened it without any instructions. Correct.
I felt behind me.
Mr. Carl?
There was no to the weapons.
Trooper, after you found the ammunition, did you question anybody about the ammunition?
Mr. Lassiter said it was his. And we asked if the trooper Campbell could pat him down, and he agreed.
Did you ask anything about whether there were any weapons in the vehicle?
I do not recall. I mean, that seems like a logical question, sir, but I don't want to just.
Fair enough, Mr. Carnes. Any additional questions? Mr. Champion?
Nothing further.
May the trooper step down. Mr. Carnes' argument?
Thank you, Your Honor. I do think probable cause exists to bind the defendant over on the charge of carrying a concealed weapon. We did hear testimony that this vehicle was stopped for defective equipment inspection. There were questions asked. There was a consent search in the rear of the vehicle, which turned up ammunition. Certainly nothing illegal about that in the rear of the vehicle, but it did raise suspicions. Then there was a consent search of the cab of the vehicle, which turned up 2 loaded .45 pistols, which does violate the carrying a concealed weapon statute in Michigan. I would ask the court to bind the defendant over as charged.
Mr. Champion?
If we look at the case of people Mead 503, Mich 205, 2019, the officer here did not have permission to close the bag in the apartment. I think that if easily identified who it was and asked for permission, not the search warrant to open that bag. With that, I would ask that the search be suppressed for weapons.
Well, it is within the district court purview because we are considering whether there's sufficient evidence to bind the defendant over. It is proper to bring a motion to suppress, which might not be entirely what this is, but the court can consider it as such when determining whether or not there's enough probable cause to bind a defendant over. In this case, people are well aware, court is well aware of People versus Mead. That case is very clear that a person cannot consent to waive rights of another in the search of a motor vehicle. In that case, which might be a little distinguishable from this case, and that case, the people received consent to search a motor vehicle. The parties were removed from the vehicle, but prior to removal of the vehicle, my recollection is that a person was holding a backpack. That backpack was left in the vehicle, who would have been a passenger of the vehicle, and law enforcement searched the vehicle. The Michigan Supreme Court held that the driver could not consent away the rights of a person in their backpack, and therefore found the search unreasonable and unlawful. In this case, while the officer testified that he believed he had probable cause to search the truck, the cab of the truck, based on what he found in the duffel bag, the ammunition, he did not go in through a probable cause search, as indicated in a roundabout way, because we had some objections to hearsay. But it came out that he had essentially obtained permission to search the vehicle through another person. Now, that question becomes whether or not there was sufficient showing of ownership in the what was described essentially as a woman's purse underneath the passenger seat of the truck. But it's also clear, at least to this court, based on the testimony, that the passengers weren't given the opportunity to claim or disclaim any association with items in the truck before they were searched. As such, I do find that this search was an illegal search under People versus Meade. The court will suppress the firearm that was located pursuant to the search, and because the firearm has been suppressed, I find there is not probable cause to bind the case over to the circuit court. Therefore, the case is dismissed without prejudice, which means, Mr. Lassiter, if the prosecution can rebring the case, if they present other evidence to the court at a preliminary examination, but as of the time being, I am dismissing the case without probable cause. Do you have any questions about that?
No, sir, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Champion, Mr. Carnes, anything else for the record?
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
The judge suppressed the firearms and dismissed the case, relying on People versus Meade, a 2019 Michigan Supreme Court decision that drew a clear line. A driver cannot consent away the Fourth Amendment rights of a passenger. When the trooper opened the bag without asking who it belonged to, and without giving anyone the chance to claim or disclaim it, the search crossed that line. The ammunition found in the duffel bag may have created suspicion, but suspicion alone does not allow a warrantless search of a closed container belonging to someone who never gave consent. The Michigan Supreme Court was clear in People versus Meade. Consent to search a vehicle does not automatically extend to closed containers inside that vehicle when those containers belong to someone who never gave permission. The firearms were suppressed, and without those firearms, there was no probable cause to send the case forward to circuit court. The case was dismissed without prejudice, meaning the prosecution could refile if additional evidence became available. But on that day in Judge Wiggins' courtroom, the answer to the question was clear. Before opening that bag, officers needed permission from the person it belonged to.